Why, hello there, my fellow horticulturalists. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Planet Crafter, Episode 4, BioDome. So, a nuclear reactor. I'm going to get together right now just because I'm not going to be able to power up the heaters. So, the first nuclear reactor that we have access to... Oh, Lord, I have to make a lot of room. Is one of those uranium rods that I had. 2 water bottles, and 3 super alloy. Another thing worth probably noting is the nuclear reactors hum. So if you build them too close to your base, they might drive you a little batty, because you will have to listen to them at you continually. So I would advise you to like put them a little ways away from your base, or otherwise you're gonna, have to be subjected to ear torture. That's up to you. If you want to torture your own eardrums, I'm not gonna stop you. Okay, that's all the iridium rods I had. Let's take a look at our terraformation index. So heat is at just shy of 100, and pressure's at 86. Oxygen is really outpacing because of those super Cs that I have. I actually meant to add some additional options to this, so hold on. There we go. So I added grow food and add plants. So plants is biomass. Do I have a plant screen? Not yet. But that is another terraformation index marker. So right now I'm about 90% of the way to clouds, and then clouds leads to rain, if you're wondering. I guess I could get a few more lower tier heaters here because I don't have the iridium rods for the higher tier ones. Right now there's, I don't have a lot of other uses for iridium, so it doesn't, well, that's not true. I just unlocked the rocket platform. But that's good enough for now. I'm going to say producing heat is done. We are now over 100 pico, picokelvin? Yeah, over 100 picokelvin of heat. How far off is auto mining? Let me show you. So the first mining rigs is here. I get that at 155 micropascal, and I'm at 75 micropascal. It's the pressure that unlocks it. The initial ore extractors are limitedly useful. The really nice ones are tier 2s. The tier 1s are limited to the 6 primary resources in the game. The tier 2s can have you mine extra stuff. Or not 6, 7, maybe. Alright. We are going to be growing food and adding plants. I'll do both. I only have 2 different food seeds at the moment, so growing food is relatively easy. All I need to do is build 2 food growers. So for that, I need 2 bottles of water, which means I need ice. Ice, ice, baby. And then iron and aluminum. All right. I already have the iron and I have the aluminum in the box. That'll work. So, tiny spoiler about what food does for you. Eggplant will be turned into fertilizer, which is a very important and highly used resource later on. And then squash is used for higher tier fertilizers, which isn't used super early on, and you don't need a ton of, but you will need some of. And mushrooms are grown for like sort of organic plastics. And then beans are really just grown for your own personal consumption. I would say you're going to want roughly 5 times more eggplant than any other crop. But there we go. They're growing. These are very slow and inefficient food growers, but they do return seeds back to you. So once you put a plant in there, periodically it will just yield, and then you can, as you can see, chance to get seeds back is 100%. You'll just continually get your seeds back and be able to keep growing additional eggplant or squash or whatever you put in there. Hey, Jack and Jan. It's going pretty good. Despite the fact that I'm like dodging asteroids or meteorites. So the next task is to do grass spreaders. So each grass spreader requires the lerma seeds. And the lerma seeds I'm pretty much just going to get in Rex. I already have, I think, 2 lerma seeds, so I'm going to start by only growing the 2 lerma seeds I have access to. So the lerma seeds are kind of the worst seeds to put into your vegetubes, but then they are the required seed for grass spreaders, making them sort of unique in that way. So this is magnesium, aluminum, and 2 water bottles. So that's why I just got all that ice. Ooh, I just got access to the BioDome. If you want to see biodomes, vote for expand the base. So there's the water I need for the lerma. I need 2 al, 2 mag. Uh-oh, no magnesium. What can I put away? I can put away my iron, titanium, silicon. Make more water. As soon as you get to VeggieTube Tier 3, you pretty much will no longer have use for water, or for ice. So all your ice can become water. I was also just making another nuclear reactor because I knew I was going to need one. Do meteorites damage facilities? They do not, no. Fortunately. But they do yield resources. So these resources here, this titanium, this iron, and this cobalt, fell from a meteorite. I could tell because they are like askew. They're not naturally placed. They're like floating in a weird way. Also, because the debris of the meteorite, well, it just disappeared, but the debris of the meteorite was around me. 2 telltale signs of they came in from space. So here are my lerma seeds. So these veg tubes are empty now. And the way the grass spreaders work is they'll have a radius in which they work. As far as I know, you can like overlap the radius. It's just a cosmetic thing. But when you put them down, they produce oxygen and also plants. So as you can see, it produces 0.19 grams per second of plants. They're producing a pretty considerable amount of oxygen too, 108 parts per quadrillion, which is greater than the veggie tubes. Here, this is 78. So the grass spreaders not only help with biomass, but they help with your oxygenation of your planet as well. So there's the two seed spreaders. And now, on this board, as you can see, biomass. Biomass is... So there's different types of biomass in the game. There are plants, there's insects, and there's animals. Initially, obviously, you're going to work on plants. You're going to be working on plants for a long time. But it is a sum of insects, plants, and animals. But plants is the one that that's going to take the longest. So, priority. Is that... Yeah. There we are. So we have generate oxygen, heat, pressure. So if you're wondering about the oxygen, heat, and pressure, my oxygen is at 538. My heat is at 104. My pressure is at 86. My biomass is at 0.38. I could also expand the base. And I think while I have you guys wait, or while you're voting for that, I am going to make myself the better tier stuff. So the better backpack and the better ox tank, which requires a lot of super alloy. I think that means I should go get some more super alloy. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to be headed to a new... Oh, I need cobalt. I'm going to be heading to a new area. In search of super alloy. There's actually a few different ways to get super alloy. From where I am, but I'm just going to be heading this way. So there we go. We have some grass. A little greenery for all this orange. And what I'm hoping to do is to grab enough super alloy that I don't necessarily have to worry about it for a while. Subnautica but on the surface? Yes and no. I mean, Subnautica, you don't really change the planet you're on. You just exist on it and are investigating it, I guess. Whereas this, you're like actively modifying the planet. But no, I would. It's similar. I've played other games that have you know. So in a way, this is more like Terraforming Mars or any of the other terraformation games, like Paraspora or Terraformers or something like that. I don't know. It's hard to tell exactly what it is. I'm in the lovely sand dunes. It's Planet Crafter. Exactly. It's its own thing. It's pretty unique in that. A first-person terraforming game. I could also see people drawing conclusions that it's kind of like Satisfactory or something. Or Factorio, in a way. Because it has, like, production chains and drones and all that kind of stuff. Here's my ox box. Oxygen. And there's a cave here, which has super alloy in it. Which is why I came out this way. I think I'm going to leave behind resources on this trip that I don't urgently need for space. Also, a door! Can you get lost in the planet? Like, what do you mean in the planet? Like, in the terrain? Or just get lost? Yes. I won't be getting lost. I know the game pretty well, but yeah, if you're new to the game, use your compass and then use beacons, because getting lost is a very real thing. And then if you don't know where you died, trying to get your stuff back is also going to be equally frustrating. I'll drink that now. But that was another lerma seed, which is going to be really nice for grass spreading, if I want to spread some more grass. But I'm walking away with almost 12 super alloy. It's not bad. Can you glitch your ox by saving and loading? I don't know. Maybe. I don't recall. Hey, that K up there? Oh, well, the pole's blocking it. So the next thing we're going to do is expand the base. But that K in the top right is going to go from K to M pretty soon. We're getting pretty close to milli. And if you look up in the atmosphere, you'll see clouds. They fixed that bug a while ago? That's good to know. I didn't know that was ever a bug. I generally don't approach new games looking to abuse them in a way that live viewers and viewers on YouTube would not appreciate, by using glitches and exploits to solve problems that should probably be solved just by good gameplay. Which is funny, because before ever becoming a content creator, I mean, I certainly never, like, cheated in games, but I was definitely a ruthless min-maxer to the point where, like, I would find those kind of exploits. Maybe not necessarily abuse them in multiplayer games, but in single-player games, my stance was like, all bets are off. It's a single-player game, so who cares how I play it? In multiplayer games, I'd play by the rules, which often was very frustrating in, like, survival-type games. I gave up on that genre a long time ago, though. Playing games like Ark or Rust, where 9 out of 10 people that kill me are just, like, cheating. It's like, okay, yeah, I have no time for this. Let's see what that blueprint is. Recycling machine. And, you guys wanted me to expand the base, but I think first I'm going to expand my backpack. Oh, atmospheric water collector. So that means, oops, wrong box. That means we're getting rain. Putting the flowers away. Putting the seeds away. Fabric. Okay. What did I need for the backpack? Alloy and titanium. And then for oxygen, alloy and cobalt. Cool. If you're wondering about the jetpack, it's 2 rocket engines. Each rocket engine is 2 uranium and an iridium rod and super alloy. I could probably barely afford it now, but I think it's probably better for me to invest those resources in building and the like instead. So the other things to build, because you guys voted for expanding the base, I will do all of the screens that I have access to that I haven't built yet. So I got to figure out what is missing. So I've got the terraformation screen. I've got the progress screen. I don't have transmissions. So I'll get the transmissions screen up and then also a comms antenna. So, no comms antenna yet, but at least the terminal's there. Iron, titanium, silicon, and aluminum. Oh, and I just got ore extractor tier 1. And yeah, I'll do the BioDome too. Don't you worry. BioDome cometh. Alright, that's done. Message from Sentinel Corp. This is an automated message to convict GP8971L. You have chosen to commute your sentence into an extradition. In order to be released of all charges pending against you, you must fully terraform this planet. Our sensors will periodically scan your progress and will send you the required blueprints. This is why they didn't give me a headlamp. I'm a convict. Do not try to contact Sentinel Corp in any case. If our sensors do not detect any advancement on the terraformation progress, you will be considered missing. The charges will not be dropped. You cannot claim property or value of anything over anything on the planet. You are only allowed to use the resources found on the planet to increase the terraformation index. You are not allowed to leave the planet until the terraformation index is complete. Gives you a little idea of what's going on, doesn't it? Platinum irons. Commute my sentence by terraforming. So, you guys wanted to see a biodome? So let's do it. I need a lerma seed. I just so happen to have one of those. And then also 2 titanium. 2 cobalt, 1 aluminum. 3 super alloy. Count to 3. There we go. I am going to make the decision to put it upstairs. So I want a ladder. Cobalt and iron. And then I'm going to need room as well. Oh, I need 1 more titanium. We're already into the MTI. Now that we're in MTI, you're not going to see the numbers move as fast, which is always sad until you start reinvesting again. I feel like that's like a main driver. It's like, oh god, it's stuck. It's like, it's not stuck, it's just not moving quick. Get back to work. I shudder at what this guy is offering me to do. Commute your sentence by terraforming an entire planet on your own. Yeah, like, what, I'm some sort of, like, punished demigod? It's like, am I ego? Like, what the hell? That's a tall order, man. Okay. There we go. I might end up adding windows to this so that it's more aesthetic. Oh, that's backwards. Correct that. Oh, still backwards. There we go. So this computer shows you what unlocks you get for biomass. So the next biomass unlock is at 865 grams of biomass to unlock the biolab, and then also what is unlocked at plants. So right now I have 300 grams of plants on this planet, and I need 80 tons to get beehives. So as you can see, it's a huge stretch. And then I don't even, we're not even going to talk about insects and animals just yet, because that's so far away. So it will show you the regular blueprints and the biomass blueprints. So obviously a lot of biomass to go before progress is made. Is there any other base expansion that would be reasonable to do before? Let's get a beacon up. I don't want to die because I got lost. I've been flexing how, oh, I'm not going to get lost, but like, I'm not going to die to hubris. So I'll get a beacon up. And then, I think maybe atmospheric water collector would be a smart thing to do. Because what ends up happening is you will lose ground ice. Most ground ice. You will still be able to find ice in some caves. But in most of the land territory, as things heat up, ice will start to disappear. So you will need to rely upon atmospheric water collectors and the like. Otherwise, you're going to be parched and dead. Just because I'm out of here, I'm just going to fill my pockets full of stuff before returning back. Oop, that was weird. Does that every now and then. Looks real wild. So, next priority, up to you guys. Aux, heat, pressure, the 3 basics. I could also add more power. I do have another nuclear rod that I could do, but I would probably need more super alloy, which is fine, I know where to get it. Expand the base, search wrecks and treasures, grow food, add plants. The choice is yours. Ooh, I can't fit through there. I'm gonna have to move this ladder. So the ladder just like lets you phase up 1 level, if you're wondering. I'm gonna stick a beacon. I'll just be weird and stick it like here. All that really matters is the beacon is colored a different color than the default blue. So I'll have it be a red beacon. And then I also wanted my comms dish up here. It looks like it belongs on a building, not on the ground. Just my 2 cents. And phasing out the wind turbines, because they contributed like 0.01% of my power grid. Really not helpful at this stage of the game. So, one of the other benefits is now I can walk around on my roof. Because I have a ladder. Agility boots tier 2. I actually don't have more fabric, so that's a no. So let's get everything put away, and I'll head on out. Another thing that I might want to start to do is to do locker organization. Because the lockers contain a lot more resources than the foot lockers. I'll just call it iron. And now, store way more stuff. I think what I'll do is I'll just, I'll slowly replace the old lockers with the new ones. But I probably want to redesign this entire room, like, just in general, so that it's more accessible anyway. But we are going to be adding plants. So add plant biomass. So taking a look at the tech tree. Now let's harvest that for now. Taking a look at the tech tree, we can decide what the best course of action is going to be to do this. So let's go up to the BioDome. The biolab is kind of like a biochemistry lab. It's not necessarily going to help for plants. The biggest plant upgrade is going to be the tree spreader. But for that, we need 45 tons of biomass first, which is not insignificant. There is the algae generators, which is going to help out a lot. So for us to get algae generators, which is probably going to be way before the tree spreader, we need heat to get to 2 microkelvin in order to get algae generator tier 1. That's going to be really important. So for us to add plant biomass, it's going to be more efficient for us to work towards an algae generator, in my opinion, than to try to collect tons and tons of lerma seeds in order to spread grass. Because there's a finite amount of lerma seeds, whereas the algae generator, you will be able to get a lot more of them, bang for your buck, in my opinion. Which means that the long and short of it means generating more heat through iridium rods. There is also a game mechanic that I should start to explain at this point, which is launch rockets. The game allows you to launch rockets, and the rockets are incredibly important because they're like a force multiplier for your terraformation efforts. So the rockets that you launch will allow you to multiply your oxygen, heat, and pressure. I don't think I have the plants rocket yet, but multiply your oxygen, heat, and pressure times 1,000 for each rocket that you launch. So that's pretty important. And yeah, I did mean to do an water collector, so I'll build that before I do anything else. So I'm also going to add rockets to the voting priorities so that you can vote for me to construct some rockets as well. And I'm out of power. Quick segue. We're going to generate a little bit more power. I have exactly the right amount of super alloy, which is lucky. So, heater tier 3. Question. Do you want me to add heater tier 3 or rocketry? So both, if you're wondering how this helps with plant matter, again, the best way for me to work on plant matter is probably go the route of algae. And I'm not going to get algae until I get my heat up. So getting the heat up is the precursor to all of it. Because there's really only so much that I can benefit from grass spreading at this point. And it's, in the long run, going to be a lot more efficient to just get that algae generator. So rocketry seems to be people's desire. And for that, I need osmium, which is a much rarer resource, but... Oh, no, I'm mousing over the wrong thing. That's an ore extractor, because I'm really, really smart. Rocketry. Super alloy, titanium, and iron. Okay. So let's go get some super alloy. There is super alloy... This biome that I'm kind of looking at up ahead is called the Labyrinth, and there's super alloy on the catwalk area of the Labyrinth. Because the cave that I first went to... I sort of mined all the super alloy. There's also going to be super alloy... Oh, it's raining. Nice. There's also going to be super alloy, like, you know, in boxes and the like. So, build a heat rocket. I'm going to be a little choosy about what I loot. Because I know I'm mostly just after the super alloy. Would also not be a bad idea to add a ox box down in this biome. So grabbing 3 iron, 2 titanium, and a silicon. There's a lot of aluminum here, too, that I'm obviously just walking past. it's not my bottleneck at the moment. But here is what I would consider the center of the biome, with the wreck. You like the rain noise? I do too. It's nice. It's a sign of progress. I'll search the wreck for, like, really high-value items, but the super alloy... See how the cliffside has, like, an elevated section? If you walk along the elevated edge, you'll find a lot of super alloy that way. It's a pretty reliable method. It's not necessarily super convenient, because you have to do a lot of, like, cliff walking. So here are some bean seeds, if you're wondering. I did need fabric for the next rocket tier. For the next agility boots, I should say. Uranium's always nice to have. Same with super alloy. Microchips. Tuska's also, well, I'll take the Lerma for the grass spreaders if we want more of those. Tuska's also a really high oxygen-producing seed. So they're kind of worth grabbing. I don't need this iron, though. Lerma mushroom. That's my first mushroom seed. And now, I do have enough super alloy for the rocket platform, which is good. So I'll just fill the remainder of my inventory with super alloy and then head back to the base. So yeah, you can see how the catwalks up here have a bunch of the alloys. And how the beacon's really helpful. I don't really even need to know my cardinal directions just to be like, walk towards the red. Oh, it's worth noting there is fall damage, and if you fall... Oops, what am I doing? Put the aluminum away. If you fall, essentially you just, like, get hungrier. As odd as that might sound. Because your food bar is also your health bar. But that's not so strange. You know, it's like playing Skyrim. Oh, God, I'm hurt. Let's just eat 15 cheese wheels and 45 cabbage. And I'll be back to normal in no time. Broke my ankle. Really could use the Snickers now. For some reason or other, the game Outer Worlds popped into my head. I, like, broke my ankles a lot in that game and then would just, like, shovel food into my mouth. I think that's the whole meme of, like, Nuka-Cola, right? Like, Nuka-Cola, just drink your problems away. I'm going to talk a little bit about sort of like a high-level strategy and concepts at this point. So, balancing the benefit of rocketry over the benefit of infrastructure is what I want to chat about. So rockets provide you a blanket bonus to whatever type of rocket you launch, which you'll understand in a second once I get the rocket platform down. And my advice is to just do the rough napkin math to figure out where your best bang for your buck of investment will be. A lot of the times it's actually going to be launch another rocket because rockets are really, really powerful. But that's not always the best case. So I'm going to do a little bit of like math. So imagine a rocket as like exponent power. Maybe is a good way to think about it. So it's like a rocket is like something to the power of 2 or something to the power of 3. This is not literally how it works, but this is just how I'm going to describe it. So the way to think about the rocket is if you have a rocket and you launch a rocket and it's like something to the power of 2, if that something is a high number, it benefits more. So 2 to the power of 2, or 3 to the power of 3, or 4 to the power of 4. What I'm trying to get at is you should try to balance rocket investment with base resource production. So it's more like 4 to the power of 4, which is going to give you a lot higher yield than 4 to the power of 2 or 2 to the power of 4 or even 3 to the power of 3, right? Try to amplify your efforts sort of evenly. But let's get that rocket platform up so you can sort of visualize what I'm talking about. Otherwise, it's just concept and not, without understanding. Thank you for tuning in to Planet Crafter, which originally streamed live on Twitch August 29th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, please let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, a link can be found in the description of this video or on my website. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream of something else. Farewell.